Hello gamers, and welcome to this very brief demonstration of how I play Gears of War 4's Horde mode as a gamer with absolutely no sight whatsoever. Now, I will be referencing a feature called Fabricator Ping during this video, but I won't be discussing how to turn it on at this particular point in time. That may be a separate tutorial video meant specifically to show how to turn the feature on if you need it. Now, I will also be specifically using Juvie Madness as the example for this run. And the reason for that is that it's pretty much the most accessible Horde variant without sight, because there's very little in the way of sort of ranged enemies to deal with other than the bosses, and even then sometimes you are fortunate enough to be able to take those down without being able to see by either getting in close or using sentries. Now, those couple of things out of the way, I'm going to discuss how to get into a Horde match, how to set everything up in terms of the variant at the very least, and the map as well. And then just jump in for a few waves and see what happens. So, to start off a Horde match, I'm going to go down 2 from the top of the main menu where I am to the Horde option. Pressing A brings me to the standard match option, and I'm going to go down 1 to get to private match. And press A. And wait for it to connect. That small sound cue indicates that it has indeed connected. And to set up Juvie Madness, I'm going to press menu and press A on the Horde variant list, which I didn't actually know existed until relatively recently, and press right on the D-pad 4 times. Like that. And that is set to Juvie Madness. Now I'm going to back out twice by pressing B, and again. And now I am on, essentially back where I started, on the map selection. Now I'm going to be playing as Cole for this. I'm going to be playing as Scout, which is leveled up to level 10 in terms of the class. And I'm going to be using a number of cards that are intended to basically keep me alive for the longest period of time possible. Now, I did have a couple of issues when equipping cards a while ago, and I've left my build pretty much unchanged since then. And the cards I've got on, essentially, they provide me with additional health on top of what a normal player would actually receive without the cards, and they allow me to do additional melee damage as well. So I'm going to press, well, amongst other things at the very least. Now I'm going to press right trigger 5 times to get to the map that hopefully is the one that we want to use. That map being Forge, but I have had issues in terms of selecting maps previously, so who knows, we will see. So I'm going to press X to start the countdown for the match, and then I will briefly go into how Fabricator Ping works once the match loads. And that ticking noise is the first phase of the connection process. Even though it's just me, it's starting the match in a similar way. And there we go. I was wondering when the second phase was going to kick in. And now the music's going to fade out, and we will get a sort of loading screen with the map as well. So this is the loading screen, and shortly we will hear Cole say a line that indicates that we've actually started the match.
Come on, let's show them how we do it!
Yep, and that is indeed Cole sort of introducing us into the mode, as it were. So I'm currently using the Retro Lancer, given that I'm playing as the Scout.
Come get me!
Wow, and I got the perfect active as well. That was good. I will not be using this gun for the match at all. In fact, I will be sticking specifically to my Nasher, or my shotgun, which is found by hitting left on your D-pad. Now, Fabricator Ping, the feature introduced with the June update of Gears of War, is an accessibility feature that allows you to locate your Fabricator by pressing and holding your TACCOM button, and it provides that pinging noise which we can run towards while still holding TACCOM. And you will hear that it gradually There we go. Gradually increases in pitch and speed as well as you get closer to your goal of the fabricator. And that indicates that we're pretty much right on top of it, so we can let go, press Y.
Moving the fabricator.
To which Cole says that, and we're going to put the fabricator right back down where we found it.
Fabricator deployed!
And wait for the wave to begin. Now, that feature is so useful even when you're playing with other players, because then you know how to run power in, or rather where to run power into, and you don't have to worry in terms of if you want to buy sentries and things later on, which you may see, you may not. And those sounds, those final 5 sounds indicate that the wave is counting down and starting, and now that sound says, okay, enemies are coming. Now, these sort of electronic rattly noises are trackers, and the sort of squishy noises are Juvies. Now I'm just hitting trackers and Juvies in equal measure. I apologise if this gets rather loud, because it certainly does on this end, on my surround sound system I'm using to play this. So that's a Juvie. And those other sound effects were me picking up power, and this indicates that the wave has ended. And now we'll automatically move to the next wave.
We got 30 seconds to reinforcement.
Now I'm going to run around and try and retrieve what power I can, though there's probably not much left, as I've probably picked most of it up when I was in the middle of the wave itself. Now that sound you just heard indicated that I put the power into the fabricator, which is how you buy items and things later on. And now the second wave's going to start. That small ding cue indicates that there's a bonus objective, which unfortunately at this point in time doesn't have any other cue to indicate what the objective is. But we have a number of enemies running at us. We're going to roll back with A, or back and A, and start punching these enemies to death with B, because that is our main button in this mode. And the ideal strategy is to try and move around and collect power as you go. Sometimes enemies will explode and drop their power at the same time, which I may be able to show you at some point later. It's not that I don't want to use my shotgun, as I did just then. It's simply a matter of convenience. As you can hear, there is a cue for when the trackers are about to explode, which you can use to your advantage. I was putting that fabricator power back in. See if I can... That cue is when to hit those, that sort of rising electronic cue. And you hit it a second time and they explode. Now we've just got this one Juvie to deal with. I apologise if my commentary is rather sporadic. I will get to the first boss wave and then probably end the run there. Oh, if I want to reload my shotgun, hang on, need to put this power back in. If I want to reload my shotgun, I hit R1 or right bumper. Sorry.
I'm locked and loaded.
Apologies for the incorrect terminology. And then you hit it again within the window there for the active reload, which you can definitely do via sound cues and just sort of constantly doing it over and over again during the process of gameplay. If you want to recenter your gun, you can roadie run forward, though it's not really as consistent as I would like. There's a Juvie there trying to cause me problems. There we go. Trying to show gunplay. Like that. And my reload was probably an automatic reload from the game there. Sometimes it's good to kill large numbers of enemies at once. Like that. I missed my reload. Just because there's so much going on, sometimes you genuinely can't hear the cues. Every time I keep missing it now. There are times and places where my immortal-ish, or my semi-invincible self can be killed. There we go, that shows how to hit trackers when they're about to explode. You have to hit it while that electronic kind of rising pitch cue is going on. Otherwise you won't necessarily hit it. Sometimes I think you can hit it before, but it's not exactly straightforward to do, so you're better just to... Oh, there's power there. Unfortunately, there's no cue for the power on the Fabricator. Well, not on the Fabricator, on TACCOM. So if I were to go into this menu, you can hear I'm moving about. Now, to my right from the default option, which you always start on when you go into that menu, is the sentry. I don't think I'm going to show you the sentry in this. That would probably be best suited to a match where there's not so many smaller enemies that the sentry might not be able to take out, just because of the way the game mode works. So you can hear the enemies have different cues. There was definitely a bonus objective there that I completed, so you could barely hear it over the sound cues. Yeah, sometimes you can punch enemies almost through the geometry. Rolling through that carnage. Unfortunately, as I said, there's no way to easily recenter yourself. Can't believe I'm really annoyed with myself for not getting these reloads. There we go, there's one. To show that I can get a reload in the heat of battle. It's mostly just running around and like rolling about and pressing B a large amount. There's Juvie there that decided to get in their way. Sometimes enemies will annihilate each other. I'll see if I can show you an enemy. I'll see if I can show you an enemy where I kill it and it's on the Fabricator. Maybe not a good idea at this stage. There was one lone tracker there that I had to eliminate. The fortunate thing is that it's relatively unlikely with the build I'm running that the trackers will actually be able to kill me. At least at this stage. There's that power. So I try and stick relatively close to the Fabricator. Simply to just make it easier to get most, if not all of the power back in. I will actually buy a sentry. 1 second. That's what it sounds like to buy a sentry, and this is a boss wave. As indicated by that sound cue. I'm going to try and line my sentry up. Yeah, now that sentry won't be able to do much. Oh no, it will! I got just obliterated there. That's the only thing that happens with those, really. Most of the time they just get taken out by trackers. Now, these protectors, these big sort of robot things, can be super difficult to take down. I've got to be very careful to not get taken down by one of these. Got to try and line these up. There we go. Need to try and get all the kills I can to keep me alive. Try and roll away. Sometimes it's good just to blind fire. Like, literally blind fire. Oh, well, I died. That happens when there's so much going on and you can't actually pick out where you're meant to be aiming. Even in terms of melee, it's kind of difficult. So we're going to go back in.
All clear.
We're not going to bother to buy a sentry this time because it won't necessarily assist us in any way. Now, there is power around, as you just heard there, but unfortunately I won't be able to pick most of it up because the only queue that's there is Fabricator Ping, which is slightly unfortunate if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, and if you press and hold TACCOM, your wave counter doesn't sound out while TACCOM's there. I am playing on a surround sound system, which makes my life less problematic. There we go, taking out a large number of trackers at once. Significant. That goes down early, that's good. Oh damn it, I missed the reload. Trying to get close enough to hit him. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. Probably geometry was in the way. That's normally how that works. I'll give it a couple more goes and see if I can get through it, because I know I can get past this point. I've done it before. And if you play for enough time and the same enemies keep killing you, normally the game will change the bosses up for you. Sometimes, though, that can have the reverse effect in terms of it's not very helpful sometimes. So that's the sound you make when you melee, just in case you hadn't realised. Here we go again.
We got enemy reinforcements.
The good thing is you get credits and XP and things even if you die. Oh, God, okay. Got one.
Oh yeah!
That's good. Tried to roll away and sort of got it. Got my reloads, which you can tell by your haptic cues. This will probably not end well for me. Come on. Good, that killed... Ow! Okay. That killed a couple at once, and then the other one decided to murder me. Ah, well. That's Gears of War for you. It's probably just because I'm playing solo as well. Doesn't help, necessarily. Wonder if I think... No. I think this is a shock sentry, if I remember correctly from using optical character recognition on the screen. That's essentially where it extrapolates text from an image. The image in this case being of the screen. Now if I could set this up and slow some of the enemies down...
Take down the shield.
Oh, it's a Guardian. Okay, that's a slightly different sort of problem. The thing with Guardians is... Oh, I need to change my gun. Okay. The thing with Guardians is they're flying enemies. Now, I may be able to show you how to take one down. I may. Although I'm not holding my hopes up. Just because of the absolute carnage. There we go. Just try and take out all the small enemies. I'm literally just lining those up in the centre of my stereo field. I say my stereo field, but the field of my headset. Oh, I should have taken the shot. I think I still had one extra bullet. I need to run this power back in if I can. Not sure if I'm going to be able to. That guy's dead, rather. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. That's the thing with Juvies. They're small and slightly annoying, but with this build, I think it's only... Oh wait, there's one more Juvie. Oh, two more, I think. One. Now, given that there's three... There we go. Given there's three... This might not end well. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I just want to... I just want to buy a sentry, but the game is being problematic. Oh, come on. Okay, now we're gonna see if we can line this up. That's not gonna do it. Ah, of course. Now I'm going to see if these guys can actually kill me, because then I can restart the run. They might be able to. I'm not so sure though. If I just stand in the open like this. The thing is, I have that much health that most normal enemies can't kill me, even the bosses. I'm just actually very surprised that these Guardians haven't killed me yet.
Sentry upgraded. Sentry deployed.
Why? See, this is... There we go! Oh, come on! I was so hoping it was going to work. But it probably won't now. Oh, it might do! Nope! The issue is they keep moving out of the sentry's firing line. So their shields regenerate, and then I can't do anything about it. I was trying to keep it within the sentry's firing line, but of course, the damn thing keeps moving. Yeah. Yep, sentry's dead. We might just have to leave this run here. If these guys actually can't kill me. Actually, no, I will leave this run here. Because I can show you the final part of this, which is when you receive XP and credits and things at the end of a round. So I'm going to quit by pressing menu and going all the way down to the bottom, and then pressing A twice. And now we get what would be the final loading screen of a run once you're done with it. And that sound means we're leveling up. And I'm not entirely sure what that sound indicates, but the point being there aren't many cues to indicate how many credits you got and anything like that. But it doesn't necessarily matter, because it's still an entertaining experience, even if the bosses can be rather problematic at points, just because of their various patterns. Now, thank you very much for watching this video. I will leave that there. If anybody has any questions that could be answered in a potential sequel to this video, in terms of, you know, different enemies or whatever, then feel free to suggest those in the comments. And speaking of commenting, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.